Do you smell that? It smells like chess. Oh, I did puzzles. My bad. Let's go back. Here we go. I clicked the wrong button, y'all. We're gonna play chess. This down here so you can type in your moves instead of using your mouse. I kind of like that feature a lot. I'm not gonna be using it for this game. One downside is that it does like drag your screen down when it starts off because it takes focus. Okay, here we are. Gonna play the move d4 against 1853. Yesterday I lost my game in pretty tragic fashion, just blundered a piece for no reason. That's not great. One story about this position, the Slav defense. I used to play knight c3, but then someone hit me with the win-over counter gambit, and I was out of my, I didn't know what to do. So I didn't like that. So I just decided to play this way instead. Bishop's game is actually a little bit dangerous, I believe. Now, if I take here first, the chances he takes with his queen, I think, are low. If he takes with the pawn first, that's pretty standard. I'll then come in with the knight. He'll probably defend with something. Yep, this is exactly right. And now he's in kind of a situation that a lot of people fail. A lot of people play b6 here. And b6 is actually a blunder. It's a blunder. This is a blunder I learned a long time ago in the 3 knights variation, and he plays it. It's very common. The correct refutation is e4. This gets really complicated, but suffice to say that we are supposed to... So basically, the idea is that the bishop mobilizes with check. Also, we have this idea for a checkmate on this square. Also, we can push this pawn forward. This bishop often comes out to stop the pin. We'll just go here for now. Right away, we're threatening checkmate. We also have this check to play. So he stopped the checkmate, but you know, 2 bad things he did is he opened up this as a pin, and also he stopped his bishop from being able to get back. So now it's fairly straightforward. We play this, checking the king. Excellent. And now this move comes. This knight is a important defender of this knight, and he has insufficient defenders on the knight. So now he loses. This is one of the simpler variations. It ends really quickly. He's just going to be down a piece, if not more, in this game. A lot of people will resign when they see this. I played this one time in a tournament. I was going with my friend's daughter. She won a lot of her games, by the way. But I showed one of the coaches this variation, where black plays, you know, what seems like really normally, right? Just plays the Slav. So I'll go back. Just plays the Slav like you'd expect. And this particular arrangement, kind of the greedy one, where you bring the bishop out, it just falls victim to this, where there's not enough support around your king. And so now the idea is, if you take here, you know, what happens? I think we're supposed to take with the bishop first to attack the queen. I have to actually double check this really quick, because you can still mess up here. If I take this, yeah, I think I take this. If he takes back with the knight, obviously he loses his queen. He can't take with the king. And if he moves the king up, he'll lose his queen this way. Now he's going to lose his queen. This is the truth. So when you're in these types of situations... Oh, does this just checkmate? I think this is just checkmate. Yeah, he resigned. That's unfortunate. I was going to say, in these kinds of... That was a very quick game. We might play one more. In these kinds of situations, I know I can win the queen. You can see that there's a knight fork here that wins the queen. And so you're thinking to yourself, okay, I'm going to win a queen. I'm going to be trading it for a bishop and a knight, although I'm up a knight right now. So that's actually just trading one piece away. In that resulting position, with, you know, my knight having captured his queen here, perhaps the rook takes, perhaps the king takes, would I like to have this tension still here? And the answer really is no. If I can take this right now, I see now that his king can take and actually saves him from the fork. But I was checking this move out, because if he takes with the pawn, he has extra doubled pawns, and this takes place. I'm hoping that I would have seen that this actually results in him getting free. That's not at all a good position for him by any means, but it does mean that our knight is safe for one more move. There's probably some like wicked sacrifice where the queen comes over and checkmates. That was a quick game. We're going to do another one. This is checkmate. Notice that nope. So I teach my students ABC, right? Avoid, block, and capture. Can the king run anywhere? All the squares that have pieces on it he can't go to. This one's defended by the knight. This one will be defended by the queen, and he can't go back because the bishop's there. So he can't avoid. Can he block? Notice nothing is blocking. There's no possible squares to block from, and he can't capture the queen. So that would be checkmate. GG, easy first game. We're 1915 rated. Our opponent was a good sport. I kind of wish he didn't resign, but that's okay. We're going to play c5 here. Play the Sicilian defense. I'm thinking about making some videos. Ooh. I think I play this strange variation. I think I play the a6 first. In my experience, this makes it more easy for me to end up in the Najdorf, which is my preferred moves. I don't like this move. I feel like the goal is to bring the bishop out and back. I just feel like it gives me too much too early. I can't push right away because his bishop... One thing you have to watch out for when you push this is that you expose your rook. So this can happen. Now that I've brought the knight out, I'm happy with this, because if he goes middle with the bishop, we're fine. And now we've fully covered our queenside development. We're going to end up developing this way. It's kind of like... It's like a Dragendorf, but I extended early. So I feel happy. Both my bishops are really good. My king is not going to be unsafe. I'd say we have fine center control. If I'm worried about anything, it's actually that this bishop is quite lasering. And also with the knight coming in, there's a lot of coordination on these central squares. So my temptation is actually to close off the long diagonal. But again, that makes my knight perhaps more vulnerable than it needs to be. I think I'm going to go with the early e6. Followed by knight in, and then my queen's going to develop. I just want to see if there's a correct order to do these things in. I'm not seeing it at the moment, and I am seeing that he can push in the center and then have that double attack we talked about. Both the knight movement and the queen movement both solve that problem. I don't know if there's a huge difference. I'm going to develop the queen first to add defense to the bishop. It's currently super unattacked. I just like giving support this way. Okay, he's going to push this way, open it up, and hurt my queen. Like he's going to put a rook up opposing it, and that's fine. I think if he tries to push, though, I think I can go this way. And after he collapses, I think I can push this way. Okay. So we have a game plan. I think the queen side is good for me. I feel like I have everything developed. He hasn't hopped into the center yet. I am worried about the bishop going backwards and pressuring my backwards pawn, or my undefended pawn when I do this. I'm not sure if my rooks are the greatest right now, but I really don't like this pressure, so I'm considering a move like king h8. King h8 would be problematic, however, because he's lining up, right, this kind of thing. Huh. I think I'm okay. I think I'm just going to try to push on the queen side. I'm going to let him try to attack me. Yeah, we're going to have our knights coming in like this. Okay, he's moving his knights even more forward in the game. I'm pretty sure an a4, a5 is coming. That would be what I would do. So I want to break through on the queen side. Problem is he just takes, and my queen is hanging in the end. So I should probably make sure that doesn't happen. I feel like it might be very foolish, especially if my dark squares are going to get weakened whenever he wants them to be, to weaken them further. His bishop is really bothering me, and I'd like it if it wasn't here. I can't move this knight because it's currently pinned to the pawn. I feel pretty tied up at the moment. We can't push all the way. I was going to push on the queen side, and that would mean I have to play a move like this. You know what? Let's do it. We're going to go this way. The idea is to play the move b5. Okay, and he's letting me play b5. Takes. A takes, A takes, C... Yeah, C takes. And then a wild rook appears. And that's sort of uncomfortable because he has so many pieces near my king. I've neglected my king, I think, more than I should have. So hopping in like this, we're gonna try to take advantage of this guy. We're gonna get rid of one of the attacking pieces. My knight on d7 I wouldn't say was a great defensive piece. So I think getting rid of that's a positive. Yeah, and now we can play e6. He has check here, and he has a check there. This check I'm not worried about, so I can play this to defend everything. And I'm going to play h6 next. Kicking out the queen, creating a fortified wall for my king. My queen's a little locked out. Oh. Yeah, not so sure. I don't know if that's right. Yeah, the queen comes back this way. I take, and then the rook is watching my knight. That's a little bit sad. But then I have queen back, both defending and attacking the pawn. Yep. I could actually let him take. That might be a superior variation. I don't think it is. I think me taking now is better. If he takes with the rook, he's going to get forked. Yeah, he'll get forked. Then there's this check, which would pick up the knight, because the rook is defending that as well. So I'd have to step backwards. Oh, this is getting a little bit complicated. Rook takes. Okay, he didn't even play rook takes. Oh, this is great for me. Okay. There is no danger. No danger. I'm happy now. The question is g5 an awful move? It seems unnecessarily weakening. That's my first thought. But my knight doesn't have a lot of options here. I think that's the best maneuver that I have. If not that maneuver, then there's this guy. And neither of those seem great, because neither are outpost squares. I think we have to go this way. The alternative was to push this, but then I feel like this square is just a liability forever, and he can just play this whenever he wants to. So we're going to try to shut down counterplay. I'm worried about this pin, where the double rooks will come down this way. I think there's some crazy variation. Okay, we're kind of going for it. Not like so directly, but kind of. This trade I think favors me due to the line opening up, even though my knight gets a little bit displaced in the process. Also, my bishop will have hope of doing something this game, because my bishop has not been particularly active. Also, with the push, I think I can take, and then I can hop my knight in, and I can actually fork these pawns. Okay, so he's defending. Recommended by me. Okay, attacking it again. I think this is sound. We're attacking it again. I'm not sure how he defends it again, unless he wants to tie a rook down. Okay, he does want to tie a rook down. That's kind of interesting. So can I play this move? I think now it might be time to evict the rook, because the rook is really being annoying. Let's evict the rook. I know we're leaving this square open, but if he checks me, I step forward. He checks me again, I take this. That's a little bit dicey. Like these checks and like the bishop wrapping around are kind of scary. Okay, but this is not upsetting to me, because now I can push this, and on getting attacked, I can actually push in again, and then I can push in again. I don't know if that's the right plan, but it is a plan. We're gonna go for it. Oh, I went out of order. Unfortunate, yeah. No, c4 is still a good goal, I think, to have. Especially because... Okay, so now he's kind of set himself up a little bit. Notice that these diagonals... yeah, there's a lot of stuff happening there. Stepping forward is dangerous, due to this bishop being so strong. TBHing with you, I don't really like my position that much. If he moves this knight, before I could have taken... Ooh, don't do that. I could have taken that because it was actually pinned to the rook behind. And I didn't see that till just now. So I wonder if I can take advantage of that now. If I come backwards like this, I'm holding off this square. I take, he takes with the knight. I take this, he takes with the knight, I take with the bishop. No, it doesn't quite work. There's a version though. I feel like doubling the rooks is really important here. And the timing is going to be really important. Okay. He opts for this now. I now have a new outpost, or semi-outpost square. It's not quite a full outpost yet. He has strong check. I go here. He defends it. Oh, I don't think that's quite right. I think this knight move is really strong. Just because we have free tempo with this, and we're also stopping the one check we were worried about. I don't think that h5, h4 is actually bad for me. Not to mention that we are having this double attack here. So h5, h4 is an option. The problem is it kicks the knight out, and the knight is actually not doing so good for him, right? It's doing good for me. We're going to take this, clarify the center, give us another open line. We also have this as a fork potential, and that as a fork potential. This is a tough one. I like the pressure that I have. I think now might be the time to double. Now might be the time to double. If I'm him, I'm trying to like step out, back and out of the way, so that I can kick this guy out. The problem with kicking is you actually end up dropping the exchange. So my knight seems pretty strong. Obviously, in that variation, it doesn't quite work that way. This is an interesting move that I can't say that I cared about or saw. Is my knight better or is my bishop better? Well, there's pieces on both sides of the board. When there's pieces on both sides of the board, you want to have a bishop. That settles it for me. I'm going to go for the bishop. The problem, however, I see is that there's this check and then a check. And that means his knight is going to be really good for a little bit. And I don't really like that. Let's be a little bit rash. We're going to go this way. Force him to make the trades. Perhaps he'll take en passant. This is also possible. If he doesn't take en passant, I feel significantly better about my position. If he goes backwards, I can then take it, and his knight doesn't have the squares that his knight wanted. My knight seems really good in this position. Yeah, 133. I'm spending kind of a lot of time thinking. Oh, if I was him, I would sack and then get the exchange back at the end. I feel like something crazy can happen here. Like, that's a fork. Yeah, there's some weird science going on. Is that... That's not winning. There's some weird stuff going on. Alright, he hops in. We're going to step back. He can attack the rook. He can fork the rook and the pawn. And he goes for it. Okay, I'm expecting him to gang up on it. This is not going that great. 1921. I do have to keep in mind that my knight can move kind of anywhere, and it will be a discovered attack on the knight. My rook on the e-file is really bad. This is the truth. I didn't see that. Oh, and he blunders. That's so unfortunate. He blunders. He should step forward. I can take with the rook. He'll take the exchange. I'll come back this way. I think I'll just gotta take this way though. Don't be too fancy. Then I can push, come back, and then try to mate this way. That'll be my plan. What a game. Chess is pretty tough. Chess is pretty brutal like that. Let's see. I can't go this way. I just gotta go this way, I guess. Oh, is my knight trapped? Good for him. Can I take anything? I'll take you with me. I'll go in here. This seems strange, giving up like this. But I'm gonna lose a piece no matter what, so might as well simplify the position in the process. We'll step forwards. There's a check, but I can move into it. Then the check, and he wins the other thing too. Let's go like this. My rook is underutilized. My rook should be right there. Kind of running low on time. Alright, he's helping me. Getting the rook in the back, like this. That's still a check. Yep. There's a check. I step to the side. Here I'm swinging across. If I play rook here, he can't defend the pawn. It appears indefensible. This is a good way. All right. Oh, that was a bad move, maybe. Okay. He realizes he can't defend it. We're trading pawns. We're gonna attack the knight. If he tries to defend with the pawn, I can push. We're gonna go this way. Try to check and move over. Okay, he can check my king. Oh, that's not good. I'm out of time. Oh, that was a tricky move. That was tricky. I can take this. Then I can step back. Then I'm gonna pin. And I'll take this. I just don't want to lose. I think that's gonna be game. Nothing you can do because my king's blocking the pawn. He's being very foolish. I don't like this. Oh! He's too tricky for me. He's too tricky for me. He's so funny. Good for him. He took a lot of time there at the end. Made sure that it was me that lost instead of him that won. Good for him. That's going to be the game. Thank you so much for watching. This has been Turkishfilms and chess.com collab. Bye.